the investor. Welcome to Stock Market Watch, June 6, 2016, and this is Michelle. During this video, I will give you a general idea about the US and the Canada stock market, and also that will be include the fundamental analysis and technical analysis. And hope this video could help you about your investment in the stock market. First, let's see the US stock. And according to the last Friday, the poor labor market data, so the stock just clean up, have a big increase today. The US stock advanced on Monday and driving the S&P 500 to a fresh high for this year. And for the S&P today have a 10.28% up, 28 point up by the 0.49%, and close at 2,109.41. And if you follow my video before, I already told you the 2,100 points for the S&P 500 is like the Great Wall, because based on the technical analysis, there is so many times in recent year never break through these points, and every time just catch 2,100 and then just drop down and get big resistance at that point. So we call it a great wall for the S&P. But today, according to the poor labor market data, so the chance of increased interest rate become quite lower. That's why all the US today just coming out. And for the Canada, for sure, I said the oil price just clean up, and US dollar dropped down, and Canada market just keep going up, and today have 49.38 points up by 0.25%, and close at 14276.16. Right now, let's back to the technical analysis. And for the technical part, yeah, the line I just drawn is 2,100 position. And from the history, you can see it's very clearly. It's for the first point here is last year. Last July, this is so last July and last May create the history highest position, and after that, after last July, it just keep drop down, and for this time it's dropping down and then climb up and get the resistance from the 2,100, then just drop down. And for this is last November, it's a breakthrough, and but didn't breakthrough effective because they didn't keep the 3 days after the 2,100 and then drop down, and then they have a rebound but never catch the former high point and drop down, and for this time it even didn't touch to 2,100. So this is 2 times, and we told is W button, and after W button The last time break through the 2100 is May 20th, and after that get resistance and then have adjusted, and for the today. Yeah, last Friday just broke through, last Thursday breakthrough, but Friday just dropped down, and Monday is definitely stand up on the 2100 points, and so today is close at 2109. And if the capital keep fluing, because of flu from our indicator MCD, you can see if you follow my video before, you should know that the indicator, the green part means the locked money, and yellow part means the hot money, and the right one is means the bankers money. That means who earned profit already. So right now the green red one for today just keeping up, and also from the divergent expert, you can see this is still have a movement in flew in, but for today from the column is quite small than the yesterday, than the last Friday, and also the last week. So that means at this time the chance of a sideways is bigger than the just the one station up. So that's my forecast. And for the candle market, it's quite beautiful, right? Just keeping have the new higher than the former higher, and right now this is 2 times. It's already broke through, and after the breakthrough the triangle, just go back a little bit and get a support from the top line of the triangle, and right now it's coming up. But for today, it's close by the cross. The cross means the buyer and seller's trace is the same, and so tomorrow is quite important, because for today the buyer's trace equal the seller's trace. If tomorrow will have a open higher and a close higher, that means tomorrow is an increase. That means the buyer is definitely fight successfully by the seller's part. So that is a good, very good sign for the Canada. Okay, so just notice tomorrow's. And what's the key information today is Federal Chairman Yellen spoke in the Philadelphia today, and she gave the opinion about the last Friday, the poor, and also surprising labor market. And right now, let me share with you how she said exactly.
My overall assessment is that the current stance of monetary policy is generally appropriate, in that it is providing support to the economy by encouraging further labor market improvement that will help return inflation to 2%. At the same time, I continue to think that the federal funds rate probably will need to rise gradually over time to ensure price stability and maximum sustainable employment in the longer run. Several considerations lead me to this conclusion. First, the current stance of monetary policy is stimulative, although perhaps not as stimulative as might appear at first glance. One useful measure of the stance of policy is the deviation of the federal funds rate from a neutral value, defined as the level of the federal funds rate that would be neither expansionary nor contractionary if the economy was operating near potential. This neutral rate changes over time, and at any given date it depends on a constellation of underlying forces affecting the economy. At present, many estimates show the neutral rate to be quite low by historical standards, indeed close to zero when measured in real or inflation-adjusted terms. The current actual value of the federal funds rate, also measured in real terms, is even lower, somewhere around -1%, with the actual real federal funds rate modestly below the relatively low neutral rate. The stance of monetary policy at present should be viewed as modestly accommodative. Although the economy is now fairly close to the FOMC's goal of maximum employment, I view our modestly accommodative stance of policy as appropriate for several reasons. First, with inflation continuing to run below our objective, a mild undershooting of the unemployment rate, considered to be normal in the longer run, could help move inflation back to 2% more quickly. Second, a stronger job market could also support labor market improvement along other dimensions, including greater labor force participation. A third reason relates to the risks associated with the constraint on conventional monetary policy when the federal funds rate is near zero. If inflation were to move persistently above 2%, or the economy were to become noticeably overheated, the committee could readily increase the target range for the federal funds rate. However, if inflation were to remain persistently low, or the expansion were to falter, the FOMC would be able to provide only a limited amount of additional stimulus through conventional means. These motivations notwithstanding, I continue to believe that it will be appropriate to gradually reduce the degree of monetary policy accommodation, provided that labor market conditions strengthen further and inflation continues to make progress toward our 2% objective.
So from that video, we have finished quite clearly. Given that the last job report has raising significant question about the U.S. economic outlook, and that decision is on when to raise the rates will depend on how this uncertain evolves. And also he mentioned that to mention about the investors, don't think too much about the job report last Friday, and the U.S. interest rate will raise gradually. So that is the key info today. And if you follow my video last week, there is a table about what news is the most effective on the stock market, and you find nowhere the interest rate hike finding in that table. The most important is about the global economic, and also the oil price is quite effective in the stock market in recent 1 year. So that's very important. Is for the global economic, we can know it's quite clearly because the UK will out of the EU, so that will be happen recently. So that's why if the UK really out of EU, that is another way to increase the US dollar, right? So the most in, the another most important news is the oil. So right now, let's see the oil market. And after the catch 50 last week, they have a turn back and have an adjustment. And right now it's almost to touch the 50 also. Today the WTI is closed at 49.56 US dollar, have a little bit um, going down. So that is today's stock market watch. If you have any question or suggestion, you can email to me. And if you want to get the video by daily basis, you can follow my Facebook. My Facebook is Stock Market Watch Michelle Wang. And if you have any um, stock market want me to analyze for you, you also can send me the code by email. So my email address is michellehomerechargecanada@gmail.com. So hope you have a very good night and see you tomorrow. Bye. Thank you to watch again.